papi on you?
Oh shit.
Yo, Joe. How
It's
you
good,
been,
bro.
brother?
I'm all right,
Chilling, man.
chilling.
How's everything?
So, Peg, good question for you. Fuck all your questions. Want to safe?
Oh, yeah. It's a safety meeting, right? That's what we do here. Cheers.
Man, you know, it'd be really nice if I could get the
Oh,
effects that I usually use when after I edited the video on here on live. That'd be dope. Where it pops up safety meeting and then that'd be dope. I mean, theoretically, I could,
breaking
but
glass.
I mean, I
Breaking glass.
could. It's just
Downfall.
I could. It's just extra work. Who wants
Hmm.
extra work? Just trying to get stoned and talked about movies.
Fuck yeah. I like movies sometimes. So so let's talk about some movies, bro. Right? You know I don't typically watch TV, right? But last week I had the fake Rona, aka the flu, and I found myself watching a lot of movies, right? And like we're talking like I watched the Men in Black movies. I watched some weird Vin Diesel movie called the Last Witch Hunter, and like maybe it's just because of the way that my mind works or our minds work nowadays. But like, bro, I feel like every movie in its own way has some sort of subliminal messaging in it. Whether it be that they're talking in code, trying to teach you a thing or two that you might not know, or telling you about their grand scheme of things, all while being in the form of entertainment, so you don't take it as truth or fact, you know? And bro, Men in Black, any of the Men in Black movies, huh?
I was just agreeing with you. Yes, Men in Black. Yeah.
Right? Yo, there are so much hidden messages in that movie, bro. Now, I know before here on safety meeting, right? We talk about how it seems like anytime there's something significant or something that's supposed to be heard by the masses, they use Will Smith as the vessel or the focus point, so everybody watches because everybody loves Will Smith, right? Men in
Right.
Black. There's some theories out there I've seen on the old TikTok that that Men in Black is also like a documentary rather than a sci-fi a fantasy. So before I go on my thoughts about it, you've seen Men in Black, right?
Of course I have. Who hasn't seen fucking Men in Black, man?
Okay. Now, when
I
you
mean,
were
it's for a
watching
reason.
it,
Think about
did
it.
you feel like it was just some weird ass sci-fi movie, or did you feel like there was a little bit of something to it? Like,
You have to believe in the validity of aliens first. I think me and you've gone down this rabbit hole of how I feel about extraterrestrials. So unless you're thinking that Men in Black is thinking of like talking of like gods and goddesses and angels and demons, then no, I don't think it was talking about anything real. I don't believe in extraterrestrials.
right? But the way that they worded it, especially in the second one and the third one, is they didn't refer to them as extraterrestrials. They referred to them as interdimensional beings.
Which
These
would
beings that,
theoretically mean that they actually come from within the earth.
right, right, exactly. But like interdimensional beings, or like a couple of new words I've learned recently that I didn't know before, or like terms like star seeds or even light workers. Now, in Men in Black 3, okay, there's a guy named Charlie that was in the movie, right? You remember him? He was the white guy who had the winter hat on and all the winter gear. And
Yeah.
and when Jay or Will Smith had to use the time jump to go back to find Kay because Kay time jumped, first and foremost, they're acknowledging that time travel does exist. And I think they kind of revealed that when they were talking about in declassified documents of Project Looking Glass. But anyway, but this worker, Charlie, he was basically like a light worker. He was an interdimensional being, meaning like he could take something and look at it and it's completely different, as if he was in a fifth dimension. Like he could almost rewatch the history of things, right? And prime example in the movie is he goes to the Met Stadium or whatever. Oh, it started echoing. But he goes to like the Met Stadium, and while he's standing there, the stadium's completely empty, right? And
Facts.
Jay and Kay, they walk up to him, and they're looking at him, and you could tell he's eating popcorn. And he's thoroughly interested in what he's watching, and they're like, "What is it that you're seeing that we don't?" And he puts his hands on them. When he puts his hands on them, suddenly the whole stadium comes to life, and they're replaying a Mets baseball game from the 1950s, right? Like play by play, like it was happening in real life, because this Charlie has the ability to be a light worker. He's multi-dimensional, interdimensional. He could see that other people couldn't see. So,
see, now you just got into the theory that all time is now. The past, the present, and the future all run continuously at the same time.
I mean, essentially, it could be. Like anytime you think about anybody talking about, whether they're from another galaxy, another universe, a different dimension, so on and so forth, everybody has in common that the one that where we live now, our current existence, the 3D or third dimension, right? Or even 2D, is that we're the only species that believes in the concept of time. Where all other interdimensional species or other dimensions, they all believe that time doesn't exist. They broke
time is an illusion.
Yeah, right. Time's a way of controlling. It's just control.
I mean, man needed time, and just like you said, to control your day. If I give you 24 hours a day, I can control how you use it. You got to wake up and go to work at a certain time. You got to go to bed at a certain time, because you got to be up at a certain time to make sure you go to work at a certain time.
Right. Because Cat Williams said it, right? Now, Cat Williams, I know everybody's like, he's a comedian, but sometimes the guy really spits some knowledge, and he says, the people are stupid.
Get beat up by teenagers in projects.
Right, but he goes, human beings are so stupid that they made you believe and told you to believe that there was 24 hours in a day, right? But in all actuality, there's only 12 hours in a day, because the day is split in half. There's 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night. And the reason why they tell you there's 24, because if there was only 12 hours of daylight, you wouldn't dedicate 8 of it to go work for somebody else. Because when you think about it, I'll only work 8 hours a day because there's 24 hours. That gives me the whole rest of the day. That's 16 hours of life I can live every single day. There's only 12 hours in a day. That's where they trick you. If you only knew there was 12 hours of daylight, would you dedicate 8 hours every day to somebody else? Fuck no. You dedicate it to whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever makes you happy. Spending time with your family.
I mean, I did that even with the fact that there's only 24 hours a day. I still got to the point to where I just didn't want to. I don't want to give my time to somebody else. Not unless it's going to benefit me directly. And I'm sorry, going to work for someone else and making them money and getting a smaller portion of it does not benefit me.
Right. It doesn't benefit anybody. It's a toxic way to live your life.
I mean, it benefits the person at the top. The person at the top doesn't have to do the work to get the money. They just have to fund the money to get the workers. You get what I'm saying?
True.
I mean, if any of y'all watching out here tonight got an opinion, you think they were fucking retarded, you think that Pat said something funny, or You want to comment on how he looks like Mr. Ed with the Yankees hat on? There is a comment section. We would love to hear it.
Wilbur. So Men in Black. That's one of the movies I watched. What
See,
you
I'm,
got
I'm,
any?
gonna go, I'm gonna go back to one that I go back to a lot, man. Demolition Man. I think that one was really telling people something. Think about it, right? The whole world shut down because of some type of pandemic, and then a world war broke out. And next thing you know, there's this universal one world government. There is no more toilet paper. Everyone wipes their ass with 3 seashells. You can't curse. You can't have physical contact. Like to the point where people don't even have sex to reproduce. They go to labs, and the woman gives up her eggs. Dude jacks off in a cup. Bam. If you want to have sexual intercourse, I put a little little virtual reality set on my head. You put one on your head. Instantly puts us in a virtual reality state together where we have sex, and that is how people live life. Seems literally kind of how where we're going right now, isn't it?
A little bit.
Metaverse.
You got self-driving electromagnetic cars that are only designated to take you on the locations that you need to go, which is to and from work.
They
Because
want
it's
to take away
scheduled.
your. They want to take away your ways of defending yourself by taking away your guns. They also did that in that movie. Guns were illegal. They were only found in museums at that point. You got to think about it. Wesley Snipes had to hack the computer to the museum to get the guns out.
Right. And when he broke onto the scene, it was this evil that nobody's ever seen before, when really he's just a soldier. Or at
Exactly.
least what the soldiers were from whatever timeline he was from. I'm trying to remember what it was.
He would have been from the late 80s, early 90s when the movie came out. That's the same timeline. I really want to think it was from the 80s.
So Demolition Man. Like they're almost foreshadowing the future that they wish to create in the form of entertainment.
Stop it real quick.
I mean, shit. They basically practice social distancing during that time frame. All their major corporations and all their police offices and all their government buildings were all underground because they had valuable assets and they didn't want to have it on the surface world.
So it takes place in the year 2032. I mean, you think about it, man. Through brainwashing and whatever other techniques you want to use, it's very possible that within the next 10 years that we could live in a society like that.
Yeah.
Shit, it literally took them telling people once that, shit's you need to lock down, go gather up some shit, and then there was no toilet paper. We were that close to wiping our ass with these seashells, and no one noticed.
Nobody fucking
Just
noticed.
saying.
Nobody noticed. We're on the verge of toilet paperless society where you had the seashells or you just bidet that shit.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Appreciate
How's
you,
it
bro.
going? Cheers.
Right, we will definitely smoke one for you. Have a good day tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Every day's a good day when you're trying to get safe.
Hell yeah.
But not for real though. That movie, in my opinion, is one of the most telling movies that they made. And you didn't really notice it until you started to get into this time period. Like back when you originally watched it, you watched it as a sci-fi film. Like, the world would never get like that.
Right.
And now all of it seems very plausible.
And I see like Sylvester Stallone was the standout polarizing figure that was before Will Smith entered the picture. right? Because they use Sylvester Stallone for really important parts in different movies. Okay,
Different kind of movies, though, man.
right, but he was the guy. I mean, come on, man. They used Sylvester Stallone to make a movie about arm wrestling, and it was a fucking 5-star film, highly acclaimed.
Who else were you going to have make that film besides him or Arnold Schwarzenegger? Exactly. There was no one else to make that film. Those are the only two guys.
Right, I guess. But I mean, this man was Rocky. Okay, what were the premises? What was all the premises of Rocky? Every time a Rocky movie was released, there was about to be a military conflict in real life. And for the in between times, they created Rambo. And what was Rambo? A merc, or not a merc, a former special ops soldier, a trained marksman, an assassin.
Now you're just going after a man's career as a action movie film maker.
Right, what I'm saying, but before Will Smith, there had to be that one polarizing figure, that attention grabber, a way to get people in the seats so they can force whatever it is they're trying to force down your throat.
I don't think
And they always seem
I see. Well, my only problem is I don't view Will Smith as that guy.
he is though. Every important thing that's happened in our lifetimes as adults has been portrayed years ahead of its time with Will Smith in a movie.
So you're going to sit here and tell me that we're going to have zombies soon?
We already do. We call them blue pill people. It's just open for interpretation.
No, I think I see. We can't play that game though, because what all the things that we just went through in these movies that we just talked about are things that are either currently happening or by the letter. By the way, not just like interpretation wise. So I'm going to take it that there's really going to be zombies, or he just found a niche as a sci-fi actor because he didn't want to be known as a comedian.
Or because he's a polarizing figure, they used his face to foreshadow up-and-coming events or previous events. Think about it, bro. Do you know anybody else that could portray Ali the way he did?
Just stop. I got something for you. Then. Are you trying to say Will Smith foreshadowed Kobe Bryant's career? A young boy from West Philly that moved to LA and became a superstar.
Did he though?
Yeah. Think about Fresh Prince as a basketball player. He was a fucking superstar. He scored like 100 points in a game, bro.
Right, but on the show, he wasn't portrayed as anybody special.
He went to college as a basketball player.
How many games did you actually see him play in an episode?
But no. But see, he was though. He was. I mean, that's not the point though. He was known as a basketball player. He was the Fresh Prince for that reason. The cut scene was even him playing, even him at a basketball court. He got into a fight at a basketball court.
So you're telling me?
Yes.
So you're telling me
I'm going along with your conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. It's just an open thought. Okay, so what you're saying though is you're saying that possibly Kobe and Will Smith's lives could have ran parallel. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you could essentially take it that way. Yeah.
Except one is portraying the character, where the other is the character.
Yes, that I like the second way you said it better than the first way. I'm more or less saying that Will Smith was portraying Kobe before Kobe.
Okay. Do you think Will Smith could have portrayed anybody, or anybody else could have portrayed Muhammad Ali the way that Will Smith did?
Yeah.
Who?
They're all trained actors, bro.
Right, but I don't know anybody that actually kind of looked like Muhammad Ali, man, or Cassius Clay.
Well, I mean, we'll never really know. I guarantee you, there was probably somebody else just like Will Smith that was just as close to getting that role.
But he got it for a reason.
I mean, now we're gonna have to ask: did they write the role for Will Smith? I don't have that answer.
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't think so. It's Muhammad Ali's life story. All the stuff behind the scenes that you speculated while watching it in real time as a fan. I mean, people saw Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X in the news talking about, equality and you know, for that time it was really pressing. I mean, shit, fucking the 60s and the 70s and the 80s were just.
Yeah, but then he also made a movie about concussions.
I never seen that movie.
Neither did I, because it was fucking stupid. All right, I'm sorry. Let's just go down this rabbit hole for a second, right? As soon as we strapped up a football helmet, granted, me and Pat, neither one of us ever sniffed the NFL. But even as kids, as soon as we put on that football helmet and them pads, we 100% understood that there was a good chance I was going to get hurt. I don't know about you. And then me personally, since I like to take my helmet and put it into your helmet and hurt you, call me what you want, different day. But either way, I knew that it was going to cause me damage, just like it was going to cause you damage. But I was just hoping that I was going to be the one to stand up.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. Why do we really need to make a movie to show people that me ramming my head in your head is going to cause brain damage? I knew it wasn't going to cause, me to be smarter. I knew it wasn't going to cause my brain to function better.
So what if the movie wasn't more so about, and again, I've never watched it, role playing here. So what if the whole purpose about it was that for years and years and years, the NFLPA or whatever it was at that time didn't adequately protect their players enough because they expected them to have short careers, so that way it's just smaller payouts instead of people in proper gear, better trained, better athletically.
Well, I know what I really think it is? Money grab. Because you think about it, from a defender standpoint, they have made the game 100% harder, and to the point to where they're taking away people's money every week just because the guy's doing his job. All right, you think about it. Receivers running across the middle, running full speed. I'm running full speed at him, right? Quarterback throws the ball. Ball is in the air, all right? And I go to make a play on the ball, and the man catches it and goes to dive down. And since there's this much time since he's made that move, I hit him up top and get a penalty, and then get a fine for hitting him in the head. That's not even the defender's fault. What is he supposed to do? There is nothing he can physically do other than lay on the ground and not make a play, which is going to get him cut from his team and make him lose money that way. So basically, you're saying the guy's got to lose money. I think it was all money grab.
And they just used Will Smith to make a big point about it.
I think he was just willing to take the movie. He also made a movie to where him and his son were lost, the only last two survivors out of everybody on the planet, on a spaceship or some shit like that. Yeah, not too many people seen it because it was fucking stupid. I'm trying to find holes in your theory.
What about iRobot, Joe?
What about it?
What about iRobot?
I mean, I think the Jeffersons told us that was going to happen before iRobot did.
Yeah, but the Jeffersons was for a specific group of people.
Here's a theory for you. What if the Jeffersons And the Flintstones were happening at the exact same time and in a post-apocalyptic world. And that's why in the Flintstones they have some modern technology such as TVs, cell phones, cars, and stuff in that and in that aspect, right? Let's say the rich say there's a natural catastrophe or a world war and there's nuclear bombs set off and all like that. So you got radiation, everything gonna cause things to mutate, might bring back dinosaurs. Okay. And then the rich people, they go and they live above everything in the atmosphere and they're flying cars and the Jetson style shit. And then the people like us, the survivors, the ones that aren't rich and don't have billions of dollars and just regular guys, we live in the city of Bedrock.
I understand what you're saying 100% better now. Because originally you said the Jeffersons, so I'm thinking George Jefferson.
My bad. I meant Jetsons. I'm a little safe.
I picked up on it though. Like I get it now. I totally understand how you can cross reference them.
So if
The
you're out here
high
watching
society
and
and the low society, how they
exactly,
portrayed it.
exactly. So what if that right there is a tell itself? So you know
I
what? It's
mean,
funny. I know there's two people out here watching, but we're going to tell us a little story. Pat was on a mission earlier to find a video from a couple months ago where we talked about remdesivir, but it was about a year ago, and it was before anybody had talked about remdesivir, and someone he was trying to prove to this person that we had already talked about it. I just want to say we've said a lot of shit on this fucking episode. All right. And there's an episode out there where we talked about China, the takeover. And it was about a year ago. And I remember saying on the episode, because I watched it today, that we at the time were already at war with China and Russia, and it had something to do with the Ukraine and all like that. So I just want to tell people, the three people that are out here watching, just go on YouTube, go on Rumble, look up Safety Meeting, go back to the beginning, pick out a couple random episodes, and you're going to see a couple few nuggets dropped in there. They're like, these guys, man, they may talk about some weird, crazy shit, and the flow's weird because they're stoned, but we're not lying to you.
The 100% fact and truth is that Joe nor I will never tell you something that we don't believe in. We would
And
never
and that I haven't looked into myself.
we would never intentionally give somebody wrong information for our own selfish reasons. I'm just
Now,
a regular guy. I'm a family man, you know.
and that's
Nothing
why I
special
said
about
it.
me except for the legacy I create.
And that's why I said it, because when we say it, it just falls upon deaf ears. No one wants to listen. We're idiots. We're crazy. We don't know. But as soon as a guy comes out in the suit and says that he's a doctor, and he tells you in an interview, it's 100% true.
The world freaks out and it spreads like wildfire.
So I don't know, man. Should me and Pat start wearing suits? If you guys are watching, let us know. Would you take what we take what we say a little bit more seriously if we're sitting here in a suit and getting stoned?
With a little hair product in, maybe more of a clean cut beard.
I'll go get one of those fancy chairs and a bathrobe and one of those Sherlock Holmes pipes and a monocle. I'll get real fancy with it, people.
And a fancy green screen in the back. So it could be whatever we want it to be.
Facebook user says suits like the ones in The Walking Dead. I mean, yeah, there you go.
I mean, like the important part is no matter what, we all educate ourselves. That's the important part. I don't care how the message comes across. I don't care how you learned about it. From what source? The important part is that we all are learning together and we're growing together and we're creating awareness together and promoting conversation to speculate and talk about things that should be talked about. It shouldn't be in the dark. If they want to fucking kill us, we should have to maybe might like want to know about it. Have some concern. Maybe prepare a little bit. But they're not going to tell us. They're just going to do it. And they've been doing it, and they've been doing it our whole lives. But everybody just seems to finally understand it now. And I think that's because it's supposed to happen that way. And it's because of people like you guys watching Safety Meeting and going, you know what? These motherfuckers are crazy, but they're onto something. Listen, man, I've said since day one, I'm just the messenger. So I wouldn't be doing my job unless I relayed the knowledge that I acquired to somebody else. That's how messaging works.
I kind of like this comment. They think we should wear a suit while smoking out a gas mask.
Damn.
I mean,
that's bold.
I like this comment.
I don't know if I'd be able to carry on a show. You just hear heavy breathing.
I like this comment because it actually brings up a fun fact. Do you know how that they determined that marijuana causes brain damage?
Yeah, actually, I learned about it.
So, for all the people out there that don't, what they did is they took monkeys and, because, they can't do this on humans. That'd be inhumane. So they took these monkeys and they fashioned them into a gas mask, and they stuffed this gas mask on the other end with like 15 to 20 fucking big ass joints of pot, of like high grade weed for back then. And just for 15, 20 minute span, just sat there and pumped fucking smoke into this monkey's face. So after about 5-6 minutes, the monkey's going to run out of oxygen. No more oxygen is going into the monkey's brain, which at that point is going to start to cause irreversible brain damage. So it wasn't the pot that caused the brain damage. It was the fucking lack of oxygen. You were fucking suffocating them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, people. Come on.
Yep.
But you know what drug they did test on people? The British and American soldiers tested LSD on their soldiers. Let them trip out and go out in the field, see what happens. They were trying to make super soldiers.
They did.
Oh, fuck yeah. But I don't think they used LSD, though.
No.
There's actually a drug out there. It's a powder that all you have to do is blow it into someone's face like that, and they become 100% submissive. And whatever you tell them to do, they will tell you. They will say yes. They did something like that with humans back in the day. It's a little aggressive.
Wait, which part? The part where they put gas masks on our face like monkeys and blew 30 joints into our face, or the LSD? Yeah, they made LSD. They made LSD fun in the 60s and 70s. They created concert events around it. Pretty wild.
Oh shit! I hit the wrong button. I got stoned. I forgot what we were talking about. My bad, people. Oh, that's right. Gas mask and monkeys. And then what do you mean? But recently, since we're talking about, discoverings of drugs, since they've, legalized all drugs out in Oregon and decriminalized them in Washington and all that type of shit, they've finally been able to study the effects of mushrooms. So they have actually found that mushrooms, when taken in a certain amount of grammage, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, microdosing is normally what they do. It actually rewires your brain to condition you to no longer be depressed. It literally conditions you out of your depression. Now, they don't know how long it lasts because, everyone's different. So life events is going to eventually, either you truly beat it or you don't. But it just makes you think. Because me personally, anytime I've ever took anything like that, mushrooms, anything like that, then you just feel so awakened. even afterwards. When you wake up off of mushrooms, you do not feel hungover. You hear better, you see better, you just feel better. There's no aches, there's no pains, there's nothing.
Right? Because it's because the psilocybin makes your brains, your neurons in your brains fire faster, therefore opening up new waves of your brain, new levels of your brain. For all those people that were told their whole lives that we only use 16% of our brain, that's just what they want to tell you. In
Yeah.
all actuality, we should be able to use 100% of our brain. We just haven't figured it out yet because we were never provided with knowledge to. So through things like psychedelics, microdosing, you know, they're finding that through studying people's behavior, they find that it actually reverses damage side effects of things like trauma or having people with like firing. What am I trying to say? Like people who have seizures or people who have cancer with the non-aggressive kind or that these things that they prevent from us and put a stigma on are truly the things that can help heal us and make us better human beings. Because you got to remember, for the most part, and I can't speak on behalf of everybody, but things like bipolar and things like uh, schizophrenia and all these mental disorders that are diagnoses that they have a treatment for nowadays. You're not treating anybody for anything. All you're doing is dulling their senses that makes them act the way that they act. So say you're having seizures, right? There's something wrong with your firing order between your brain and your neurological system. So that's why you're having seizures. It's not firing in the correct order. Like so you're taking these antipsychotics for these seizure medications, it does the complete thing. Now your neurons that are supposed to be firing at the same rate of pace to make you work are now being dulled. So now you're turned into this almost lifeless person because all those senses that you need for motor skills and to move around that are already hard as it is because of your misfiring code, it just dulls that. It dulls everything. There's no such thing as an antipsychotic, right? What there is a psychotic. And we have these things, these herbs, these fungi, these things called capsaicin, right? Like these things are there and they come from the earth. They're essential because they're supposed to help us put the pieces together of all the things that lost over time. It's the best way I can explain it. And they keep it away from us because they don't want us to be level minded. They don't want us to be rational and critically thinking. They want us just to be whatever they want us to be. And that's it. That's our sole purpose to the people that don't want us around. They use us in every way, shape, and form. They use us. Think about this. Firefighters, okay? Firefighters, guys. Some of our bravest heroes, firefighters. 75% of them do it for free. They do it for free. Now, these people are willing to risk their lives day in and day out, free of charge. They dedicate their lives. They you know what I mean? They limit their family time to provide a service to the community. And it's very noble and it's very honorable. And I appreciate our firefighters. But they shouldn't have to do it for free. That's kind of an important thing. When if a fire company didn't exist and your house caught on fire and all you had is a fucking garden hose and it ain't cutting, who are you supposed to call? Do you call your neighbor? Hey Jim, you got a bunch of fucking dirt or flour or something to throw at this shit? No, you can't call your neighbor. You can't call the cops. What are the cops going to do for you? They're going to show up and arrest the fire, tell it is trespassing? No, so you got to call somebody who's trained to take care of these things. people who spend hours and hours and hours to train to make themselves better to be better equipped to save people's lives. Basically, firefighters are the fucking medics of society. So it's like, why do they get paid next to nothing? Why or work for free? Why do they get to do that? What like because they it's fucked up. We live in a fucked up world, guys. I can go on and on about all the things that are messed up, but we're trying to talk about movies.
I think we done left movies behind a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what I mean, though, right? They shouldn't have to work.
No,
for
I
free,
feel you,
man.
bro. No one should have to work for free. I mean, I'm also weird. I also don't think that they should have the right to fucking imprison anybody either. You know, like it straight tells you in the Bible and all, you know, religious scriptures, we do not have the right to punish anybody else on the face of this planet for anything outside of your children. It's not your place. It's not your job to judge anybody. But we literally appoint people to be judges. Think about that.
Right. Judge not, lest he be judged himself.
Exactly. Like, should you have to pay for what you've done? Yeah, but it's not my job to make sure you do.
Right.
And the same thing, I'm not gonna let you do it to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna let you do it to no one else when I'm around. But at the same time, it's not my place to take away your God-given rights of freedom for any reason.
Right. There should never be a compromise when it comes to your personal freedoms.
Nah, man.
Not for one. Not a damn one.
Which honestly, it gets twisted, right? Because at the same time, I feel that there's also a certain sect of people that, you know, just shouldn't be around. Those are people that don't know how to keep their hands to themselves when it comes to women and children.
Okay.
Maybe we should just put them all on like their own little island. Snake Island. There's an island right off the coast of, I think it's Brazil or Chile or something like that, or Argentina, one of the South American countries. But and this island has the highest concentration of snakes anywhere in the world, to the point to where at any moment you are within like feet of death. Like there's the high, like and they're all different species and they're all highly poisonous. And there's no way for anybody to come get you. There's types of snakes on that island people haven't even seen before.
Oh, you're talking about like the monsters of the world.
Yeah. We should put them all on Snake Island. Don't take your liberties, but if you can get off of Snake Island, you've earned your way out.
Not just hang them.
No, man. No, because that would be us playing judge and jury, right? But if we just, you know, remove you from society, because obviously you can't work with the rules of society and you have to survive on your own. But if you get your way back, we're good. You've earned it.
Or if you get your way back, instead of earn your way back to society, now we get to send you off to go fight a war.
No,
Prove that you want to live.
I'm good with that.
I mean, come on, man. Why send a bunch of good people off to go fight a pointless war?
I don't think we should be fucking fighting wars either, though, bro.
True.
I think we should be able to live among people and realize that we're all going to have differences. Me and you aren't going to look the same. We're not going to sound the same. We're not gonna like the same people. We're not gonna like the same food. It's just fucking life. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that if I have something that can help you out, I shouldn't help you, and vice versa.
Right. We all bring something.
There are, I mean, but there are like standards to that shit, though, right? Like, I won't give that young dude at the corner store that clearly only wants that dollar for some dope money for the dope. Honestly, if you would have came up to me like, "Yo, bro, I'm $1 away, and I just need to get my fix," you got me. I would have gave you the dollar because you were fucking honest. But you came to me and be like, "Yo, bro, I'm hungry. Can you feed me?" No, because if I was to walk into the store right now and come out with an extra sandwich, you wouldn't want it because you're not hungry. Yeah, I know it sounds fucked up, but I'm honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would give a guy $1 for you to go get fucking bag of crack or a bag of heroin, whatever it is your drug is. Like, you were honest. You came up to me honestly, bro.
Right. Honesty is it's a dying trade, or it's a dying thing. There's a lot of dishonest people in the world today.
Yeah, I'd rather you just be straight up with me than try to swindle me.
Right.
Like, because what do you really benefit from trying to swindle me? Because you swindled me once, I'm gonna know you swindled me, so you can't swindle me again.
Right. Because I believe in, for the most part, like, respect in society is gone. Like, when I say respect, I don't mean, I mean, like, people don't respect other people's belongings, but they respect their feelings or their personal space. You know what I mean?
Fuck no, they don't. I don't respect that either, bro.
Yo, I got company. Hi, Tom. Having a safety meeting live. You're having a safety meeting live. Welcome. You just entered the circle.
I saw the video, Amish community all working together and moved to a huge building. Okay.
Was you gonna call me or?
Yeah.
I didn't know, man.
Just having a safety meeting. We're live here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, and
Should have checked that first.
talking about everything tonight, from just life to movies with different meanings in it, if you picked up on it.
How much it cost at the store like today when I went there?
The cost of living is, yeah, it just keeps getting more and more expensive every day.
Yeah, you don't want me to start on that one.
Yeah, we don't even want to start on that.
No.
Inflation isn't a thing that shouldn't even exist.
Shouldn't cost me fucking $80 to fill my fucking Ford.
Right. It shouldn't cost me $60 to walk out with one bag from Walmart.
Yeah.
Right, bro. I did that the other day, and that shit pissed me off. I went and got shit for, I think it was like, it was just like a random little dinner. Just got one dinner, bro. $40, and I didn't get nothing extravagant.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking crazy, bro.
It is, and it's with everything, man. You
I
go to
went-
the store. You go to the
The
store,
hamburger was almost $10 the other day.
dude. Me and Kaylee were walking around today, right? And we went up to the corner, or the fast track. We both got a drink. She got a little bag of Jolly Ranchers, and I got a candy bar, and it was like fucking $11. And for what?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, how expensive were these Jolly Ranchers?
Like $9 a bag.
But it's just like, really? What the fuck? It shouldn't cost that much for anything. It's just,
Fuck no.
and what is their go-to? It's Russia's fault. Blame it on Russia. It's
How the
Putin's
fuck-
fault.
How the fuck has Russia got anything to do with our candy? They don't
How
even
the
eat the
fuck is-
same kind of candy as us.
Dude, how the fuck does Russia have anything to do with oil?
We don't even get our oil from Russia. That's why we bought.
We have our own oil. We have our own fucking gas. We have our own petroleum. But yet, we tell everybody that, oh, we rely heavily on the import of it. Bullshit. That's all fucking bullshit. And I think it's all being exposed.
Well, bro, I mean, anybody with a head on their shoulders would just see that was the whole reason we bought Alaska from Russia was for the oil. That's why Alaskan citizens get paid to live in Alaska because it's part of that stipend from the oil. Bacon was $12 for this guy the other day at the store, man.
Bacon was $12. Fuck yeah, it is. Shit, you go buy a two fucking 12-ounce sirloins. It'll cost you $60.
Go to Costco, man. I'm telling you, because Costco, granted, you got to buy everything in bulk, but bro, I went there the other day for 4 big ass packages of bacon, $20 for 4 of them, and you had to buy 4 packs.
But does it taste like bacon?
It's turkey bacon.
I mean, no, it was regular bacon.
Bro, I've seen some videos of like people cutting these crystals or these embers from the mountains deep in rocks. And there are some rocks that look like an old slab of bacon. And they come to the conclusion that what they're digging up is old blood samples from fallen Nephilim, petrified bodies that turn up as crystals, and they used as minerals. But this one guy, he found that there was a rock, and he cut it out of he cut into it and cut open a slab, and I swear it looks like a piece of bacon. And it was from these areas of minerals that are the petrified, decayed bodies of the Nephilim, the giants. Bro, there's giants all over the world in so many different spots. Mountain ranges of a sleeping petrified giant. They told us about that shit in Moana. They talked about Gaia.
I mean, it's possible. Anything's really possible, you know what I mean? But
They had to have had giants at some point in time, man.
oh yeah, but I don't think they're petrified mountains though. That's just a gut feeling. I could be wrong.
What if those initial mountain ranges of these petrified giants were the original mountain ranges of creation after the first civilization was dropped? Because there's been many fallen civilizations throughout time, allegedly.
I fall more to the theory that they're like old, like ancient trees and shit than they are old petrified mountain giants.
I don't know. There's a mountain range in Chile that these herbs grow in these mountain ranges, and these herbs are specially designed to help heal your bronchial system and your lung system, that whole endocrine system.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be shaped, the mountain range, like a set of lungs. And there's Bigfoot, of course. Sasquatches have to be real, man. They have to.
I don't know, man. I've never seen a Sam Squanch in my life.
Me neither, but at the same time, bro, there's lots of hairy motherfuckers out there in the world. Right? You've been at the beach somewhere and some dude takes off his shirt and you're like, bro, are you going to take off your shirt? And he already did.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't experienced that one.
There's some hairy motherfuckers out there in the world. Some dudes, people that look like they got a full sweater, and it's like, no, that's their hair. Like your brother, man. That dude's part Bigfoot. Come on.
He's too small, man.
But he's furry.
He's 5'2".
He could be part. You never know, man.
Which makes no sense, bro, because I'm not a hairy guy. I don't got no hair on my back. I got very little hair on my chest. Like, I'm not a hairy dude. I got hair here and here, but Shouldn't you be doing homework, Jacob? Thought you and your friend were supposed to be studying.
Studying for the big test.
But Bigfoot definitely has to exist.
Or at least did. Yeah, they got a fucking show on History Channel. Bigfoot Hunters or some shit.
You hide that long, and that'd be really.
I don't like how your son's talking to me right now, Patrick.
He just call you. Did you say you have ED? That's messed up.
Nope. No, it's an acronym, bro. It's an acronym.
Oh, for eat a dick, Joe.
Yeah, I don't like how he's talking to me. He couldn't have just said it. Like, if you would have typed it out, I'd have been okay. But, like, he had to throw out acronyms. Said it'd be fucking subliminal.
Oh, so basically he's definitely not studying for the test then.
Mm-mm. Not studying for the test. Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Having a joust.
This
Yeah.
Need to borrow
was fun, Pat. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling safe.
Oh yeah. Definitely feeling safe. Feeling a little chilly. Feeling like I should go grab my coat.
that.
I got the munchies. But, so,
I mean, if any of y'all like tonight's episode, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. We appreciate you. So share it with your friends. If you ever want to come on Safety Meeting, hit us up in the comments, man. We'll always respond. We're active people, so we'd love to get safe with all of y'all if you would allow us to, because then you'll understand the true full experience of what it means to feel safe in 2022.
and as always, fuck Tom Brady.
Fuck him,
Stay safe.
lying bastard.
Because your stays are tired. Stop Brett Favre people.